Oh my goddess. Today I have a very special guest who this is her third time on Conscious Conversion, the podcast. This is my dear business and real life bestie, Shanti Zachariason, aka Shanti Zach. She's in the house. She is the quiz funnel queen, copywriter to the stars, beautiful, angelic being, and mama. And I'm so grateful to have you with us again here today for a very special conversation.
I'm so grateful to be here.
So I know, because we talk all the time, that you are often inspired and deep and full of so much wisdom in the etheric realms and in the online business realms. And so I'm just really curious myself, what has you super lit up and inspired right now?
Well, so many things. There is this one concept that I've been noodling on excessively and sitting with and contemplating and really allowing to permeate through me. And I don't remember where I heard this. I wish I could source this quote appropriately. But here it is. To sum it up, it's the idea that the opposite of hypervigilance is curiosity. And to anyone listening who's like, oh, hypervigilance, what is that all about? What does that mean? To me, hypervigilance is being in a state where you want to control everything, where, it's like there's a lot of stress and tension and anxiety and sort of an incessant need to have a pulse on all the things. And I feel like everyone living in modern society is prone to hypervigilance simply because of what our nervous systems are put through on a daily basis. And so curiosity being like the opposite energy. Okay, I like it. What does that look like? What does that feel like in my life, in my business? And I've really been sitting with that a lot lately.
I love that. I mean, I love that for a lot of reasons. One is, I know, like, in my studying, which is, not as in depth as I would like it to be or that it will be, but in my study of the esoteric and Hermeticism, it's always about asking questions, and that true wisdom is in a place of asking questions and a place of deep curiosity, because there's always more to understand. And it's not necessarily about like, yeah, like that control or knowledge or data, although those things are important to have in the this 3D realm. But it's that curiosity that's going to open up the channel.
Yeah. Yeah. The curiosity is and the questions function like portals into new possibilities. And what does it feel like to be curious compared to being hypervigilant and being in that state of wanting to control everything? To me, it feels like freedom
Mm.
and ease. And there's this like softness to curiosity that is so much more appealing than the hard, rigid, this is how it's supposed to be, I already know all the answers kind of energy that is so dominant, especially in, online business world and working as a marketer, working with so many businesses. There's this dominant paradigm of control and measure. And like you said, like, show me the data And yet there's this other side. There's this whole array of possibilities that arise when we call in curiosity.
Absolutely. And I mean, anybody, so you are a quiz funnel queen. Shanti did the quiz on my website. If you ever want to check it out, it's pretty cool. What kind of paradigm shifter are you? And I imagine that this state of curiosity lends itself really well to that kind of work that you do, where you are in this place of like asking questions, and people enter into a state, if they're taking a really, really well written quiz, they enter into a state of curiosity about themselves and about the world around them, about their ideal um, recipients of their offerings.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think for a lot of people, their curiosity is shut down in a lot of domains in life, but rarely is curiosity about oneself shut down, because I think it's our nature to want to learn more about ourselves and who we are and how we operate in the world and where we excel and where we could improve. And the list goes on. We're endlessly curious about ourselves. And so, yeah, you invite someone into that experience of like, all right, full permission, get curious, answer some questions, and then receive some insights that ideally are really specific to your responses and where you're at and what you need in that moment. And that's the magic of a quiz, and being able to use that energy of curiosity as a business owner to invite your people into that energy of curiosity is quite a magical phenomenon, beyond like all the data and logistics and like, yeah, that's all there
Yeah.
too, sure. But there's also this like energetic thing happening when you commence your relationship with someone from the energy of curiosity.
Beautiful. And it also like it really invites people, much less so than a lot of other offerings or lead generation type of prototypes, like a ebook or a free meditation or a free guide or whatever it is. This really invites people on a true journey into themselves, a true, like you can really create something in this way that takes people on a true journey, like the heroine's journey. Or yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about that, because I know that that's something that's up for you.
Yeah, I've been playing with this idea of throwing out the word funnel and replacing it with the word journey, because I think we do a service when we use language that doesn't fully encapsulate the entirety of the experience that you're trying to create. And we as like business owners are like, I want a funnel and it'll make so much money and people will just funnel through it and pour out the other side. And that's not the point. Like, anyone listening to this didn't start their business for those reasons alone. In all likelihood, you started it because you want to take people on a journey of transformation and transcendence, to go from where they currently are, whatever they're struggling with or experiencing, to experiencing healing and change and growth. And that requires a journey. And we all know the story arc of the hero's journey. And often, I think maybe we apply that to our businesses, but we put ourselves in the seat of the hero. But when it comes to, say, you're creating a quiz funnel or a quiz journey, you're not actually the hero in that instance. You are serving as the guide. You are serving as the leader who is lighting the way for the hero. And the hero is your quiz taker. It's your person who some curiosity was activated, when they saw what you're offering in the world, and they decided to embark on a journey with you. And now it is your responsibility to guide them to wherever it is that they have expressed that they want to go, because they are in the driver's seat.
I love that. Can you share at least one example of a really transformative quiz that you've co-created with a client or a colleague that has exemplified this sort of transformative journey or quest?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to try and find a solid example. And I think actually this is someone that you've worked with. I don't know if you've ever interviewed Tracy on the
Oh
pod.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
haven't. I should reach out to her and see if she'll do that with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tracy's quiz, I think, is a really beautiful
Mm.
example, because it's on determining how close you are to your quantum leap, or to your next quantum leap. And through the lens of how she supports women in shifting out of, well, hypervigilance and feeling like they're successful on the outside, but they feel like shit on the inside, she's supporting them through like a multi-stage journey. So not everyone who comes into her universe is at the same starting point. For some, they are like totally enmeshed in the dominant control paradigms and don't even have like a smidge of belief that they are capable of, yes, still being successful and wealthy and on top of the world, but also feeling at ease and on purpose and aligned. Like they don't even think that's possible. And so they're going to require a totally different message and path to transcending that state of contraction than someone who's coming into her world who's like, no, I'm almost there. I know this is possible, but there's like maybe just a few things I still need to work out in order to experience this life of feeling joy and ease, and yet still accessing tons of abundance and career success, et cetera, et cetera. And so that quiz meets people where they're at through a series of questions. There's one result where they're really close to that big quantum leap. And for that person, they should work directly with Tracy one-on-one. And only that person is invited to do so. Because for everybody else, it actually wouldn't make sense. Led to a different starting point, which allows them to wrap their head around all these concepts that they've maybe never encountered before. So yeah, that's one example.
Oh, it's a great example. I mean, and it gets into sort of that that the choices that folks make when answering these questions or when inquiring within um, and meditating on these questions and then making a choice based on that inquiry, like how that can bring us on a different journey. I mean, not to get too metaphorical, but I think in metaphor all the time. I think that's how we got to think about life, is like the macro to the micro. Um, but it really does. It reminds me of sort of a metaphor of life, of like that self-inquiry, making choices is going to lead you down a different path or down a different, a different journey. And so the ideal transformative sort of quiz is one that leads to that self-inquiry and helps one sort of make those choices that puts them on the optimal path for them. And yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so with you on that analogy that, yeah, we're constantly making choices that will, depending on what we choose, take us in a different direction. And the power of having a choice cannot be overstated.
So you are working on something. You've got something up your sleeve happening really soon. This is a time sensitive episode. I mean, obviously, it's worthwhile to listen to anytime in the past, future, or present. However, if you are listening in real time as this episode is released, then you have a really beautiful opportunity next week to join Shanti Zach on a beautiful journey. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's brand new training that I'm so excited about because it really embodies this idea of bringing people into your world, guiding them on the journey that is specific to them. And it's called Quiz Quest, and it is everything you need to know about how to create this experience in your own business. So call it a funnel, call it a journey. Like, you can create that and embody the energy of curiosity and invite your audience to do the same. And curiosity has this wonderful effect of also increasing conversions, because suddenly you're not giving people this like cookie cutter, everybody gets the same one size fits all solution. You're creating like this hub, this portal where people will come in and they'll be pointed in the direction that's going to serve them best. So this is really useful for you if you are a business owner who is serving a diverse audience. And that could be anything from interests or personality types or levels of experience. Like, it doesn't really matter what are the differences, but if there are differences, that's where this can really be a game changer for allowing you to meet people where they're at, and also give them so much satisfaction in experiencing going through someone's funnel, let's call it, and not having that experience of like the one size fits all, like doesn't matter who you are, where you're at, or what you're dealing with, like buy my thing, right? This is kind of the antithesis to that. So I'm going to be teaching all about how to develop that, what goes into it, the key strategy behind doing so in a way that doesn't just generate leads, because quizzes have this effect. Like, I've known people who've put a quiz together super quickly, put it out there, built their list by thousands, and yet they weren't their ideal clients or customers. So ideally, we want to do both. And yes, create the quiz that's going to invite people into this energy of curiosity and work way better than any other lead magnet you've ever used, but also attract the people who are super aligned with what you actually offer.
And so you're saying if people come to this webinar, you're sharing all of this like information and strategy and sort of the framework for doing this. Does that mean that an entrepreneur can actually set this up themselves without hiring a done for you service, which you also provide?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would recommend doing so, unless, you are really hella well versed in your audience, and you have like a 7-8 figure business where you are confident in outsourcing something that could very well serve as the hub that the majority of your audience comes through. And you know what? Like, people love to outsource copywriting because it's not the easiest thing in the world to write for your own business, but holy, does it bring the clarity and the depth of knowledge and understanding that no copywriter or agency will ever be able to embody before you do. So if you've never had that experience or support in doing that, it's a very transformational exercise, and it will make you a better business owner.
Well, that's a hell of a an offering. So next week, if you're listening to this in real time when it's released, then you have a webinar, the same webinar 3 times. So anybody should be able to find an opportunity to go on October 25th, 26th, and 27th, 2022. And I think you can find more at shantyzak.com/quizquest. QuizQuest.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun, super interactive. I've got like little mini quizzes embedded in the training to make even the training feel more customized to whoever's watching, and hopefully create that similar experience to a quiz as we hang out live and learn.
That's going to be so fun. It's really fun. So y'all can go on a quest, a quiz quest with the quiz queen, Shanty Zachariason, and embark on your own hero or heroine's journey as you lean into curiosity and inquiry about what your ideal clients and recipients of your beautiful offerings um, can expect and receive from you.
Yes, I would love
Yay.
to have you.
Well, I'm super excited for this launch. So grateful to have you on the show as always. And many, many, many blessings to you and your beautiful launch.
Thank you, friend.
And thanks y'all for listening. Sending you so much love.